Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have to interrupt my current jewelry and matrix opal treatment videos with this one because it is the perfect example of exactly why I record my videos in the first place. I had this stone and as you can see it doesn't turn out so well, but it's how I noticed that it's not going to turn out so well that is so interesting. So we'll start the video as we would any other, but then we'll go into what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Got a nice little bit of Coober Pedy here. You can see there's a good layer of white opal behind it, but in this little crystal bar here we've got a beautiful green. Green is my favorite color. We are going to try to get it, but this is just a little pointer that I've got. You can see anytime the color bar is thinner than this pointer, I am a little bit scared, but being that we're cutting with a Dremel, we should be okay. I've dealt with absolute razor thin. It's thicker than my fingernail, so that's a plus. It means it is possible. It's not too wavy. It's pretty straight. It seems to peter out just along here, but I reckon it just sneaks around. So we should be able to get an interesting shaped stone. It might be that this edge over here needs to get taken in a little bit, but we'll do that right at the start and just see how we go. Now being Coober Pedy and not meant to be, I am hopeful that this will actually face quite well, not just from the side. We have much more luck with Coober Pedy when it comes to directionality. So we're gonna hope we get a nice little flash like that on the front face of it, which will be here because that's where the color bar is closest to it right now, or at least the best of it. Over the other side, it does seem to dive down towards the other edge of the stone. We'll see how it goes. Worst case scenario, we'll have to take off both sides and double it at some point. But I'm hoping for a solid. So we're going to keep this nice strong backing here and just peel around, peel off the outer edge just over here till we hit the color bar. Then we'll have a better idea of shape and then we'll just face it up across here. Going pretty aggressively at first, we'll go for a pretty coarse grit sintered diamond, but then we'll drop right back to the 600 and then finish it off. Probably with the sandpaper drums or the resin burrs. Who knows? We'll see how straight it is. Anyway, let's hope for a good one and spin up. So you know something's not gonna go too well, so keep your eyes peeled and see if you spot it before I do. So we're gonna start off with the 80 grit sintered diamond and we're gonna bring in the edges. I'll speed it up a little bit, but you'll see that this burr absolutely melts. I just freshly used the dressing stick on it as well, so it's pretty much at optimum cutting speed and it will just blitz through this entire corner. We're just treating this like a seam opal. It's a thin crystal seam, but a seam is a seam, and all we want to do is see the edges, the outer edges of it, and then from there we can plan the shape, we can plan the face, we can plan everything. And there was this little sand spot, but it goes away pretty easily, pretty quickly. It only takes a couple minutes to find the color bar all the way around the stone. You can see that corner is completely petered out. I was hoping that it would go a little bit wider, but in the end, it's not going to matter anyway. So just buzzing through it. You can see it's starting to come through. Now on the edges, if you really want to maximize the color bar, you can pull up short of it with the 80 grit sintered diamond and drop back to the 600. But if you stop at a point like right now, you're going to get the color bar going to the edge, but it's not going to be super strong. You really want the color bar to be fully present on the edge. Otherwise you're going to end up with a fried egg kind of look. So you do want to take it in all the way until you can really see it, but here I'm just trying to look at it and decide on what the face of the stone is going to be. So I'm having a look at how straight it is, looking at which side it's closest to, and I noticed this sandy patch over here, which is over towards that part where the color bar hasn't come through yet, and a couple more little ones just there, but in the end I decide the face is probably going to be the one without the sand spot. But it is important because if the sand spot does go right to the face, it might actually be better flipping the stone around and using that as the face. You can see I'm just clawing at it because after it's soaked a while, this mud does actually release pretty easily. But I typically just go and get my little pick and we'll just pick away at it and just see how close to the color bar it gets. Sometimes you might even find that this is a tunnel of sand going all the way through the stone. In this case, it's not. It does pull up short. And it doesn't go right into the color bar, so I think we just leave that as the back. I'm already starting to feel like I'm going to have to cut this out anyway because the color bar is not getting to that edge very strongly, so no matter what I have to take it in a little bit, and that's what I'll do now. So here we go, just buzz it right back. I'm still not 100% sold on the face. It all depends on how this sand patch goes. But once we take it back, we'll know for certain what we're going to do. And you can see here, we're just starting to get a little bit stronger into the color, and we're halfway through that. And it does pull up short, but I think I am going to have to bring it in quite a bit more. For now, we'll just decide that the thin edge up here where the best color is, so the best color always takes priority, that's the one that we're going to want to make sure faces really well. And now I'm using the 80 grit, and you might be getting a little bit nervous because it is going to get close to the color, but I do pull up just before the color starts peeking through. So you might just see faint glimpses of it in the distance. You can see here, this is where I'm pulling up. You can see that there's just a little bit of the color coming through, and then we're going to work from that spot and keep moving outwards. You always want to work from where you've got the most knowledge. You don't want to make the whole process a blind luck kind of thing. You do want to make sure that you improve your odds as much as possible, because this can be a cruel world and you want to make it as easy as you can. So wherever you can see the color bar, so on the seam opal right on the edge here, I'm just working backwards from that. So just when I start seeing it, stop, move over, start getting deeper and deeper into the stone, move all the way across the face, and I clear it up, and this is kind of where you want to stop. Thin layer of opal over the top. But I start to see something now. This is where it gets really interesting. See this line that I'm pointing out? On camera, that's visible. In hand, it is not there at all. It is so hard to see. There's no solid crack going through to the back. From the sides, you can't see it. From the top, you can't see it. With the loop, you might just be able to see it. I thought I could see it, but I thought it might have just been my mind playing tricks on me. Whatever the camera is doing, the camera is really the only thing catching this. I can't find traces of it anywhere around the stone, but I see it, and of course I just think, well, it's going to become a problem the more I cut into it, so we just give it a really gentle squeeze, and bam, right along the fault line, it comes apart. If I had not recorded, I would have had no idea what was happening. I would have tried to get this stone all the way to a finish point. Maybe I would have gone to set it, and it would have shattered. So it's super weird, but exactly why I started recording, and yeah, I thought I'd share it with you guys because it's, pretty funky. Anyway, unfortunately, that might become 2 earrings instead of 1 solid stone. We'll see how it goes, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'll get over this with some jewelry making.